Now, normally we'd be opening the show with a little clever line followed by clips and highlights of amazing goals. This episode, we won't have that because, quite frankly, there are none. West Brom are in free fall from mid-table comfortability to a bona fide relegation battle in just 44 days. And, CJ, no wins in 11 league games for West Brom.
No wins in 2026 in the league. They're fighting relegation. A new manager, fair enough, he hasn't been there too long. Same old issues. They're questioning if the players are down in tools. It's all going wrong for West Brom.
We can have our opinions, but I guess it's a good idea to chat to the people on the ground to find out really what's going on. Let's catch up with Adrian from the Liquidator podcast and Connor of West Brom Fan TV. Gents, from comfortable in mid-table to 1 point above the drop zone in just 44 days, how have we got here?
I think for me, a lot of poor decisions have been made, management-wise. I think it's a collective thing overall. It's not just one place in the club. I think poor decisions from management. I don't think Brian Mason was the right appointment to begin with. But then to replace him with Eric Ramsey, who's basically a PE teacher from the MLS, I don't think it was ever the right decision to make, to be fair.
I think the problems with the club go back to the top of the club, really. It's a collective thing. Our previous owners would have driven us to bankruptcy, and we were very grateful that the Sheila Patel and the Bilkul group took us over. So I think as fans, we've got to bear that in mind, that we do owe them a debt of gratitude, but their footballing decisions have been rank.
How much is on the players? Because, you know, you kind of said you want to see fight, you want to see heart and things of that ilk. Like, where's you lot's relationship with the players, especially in this relegation scrap?
I'll be honest, and I'm a very honest person. I love the club, I love the badge, but I hate this group of players. I mean, that is a strong word. It's like there's no fight. I mean, the only player who actually worked really hard on Saturday, I thought, was Ollie Buster. Honestly, it's terrible. It's absolutely awful. I've never seen it so bad.
I generally don't believe that players are guilty of not trying. I think they want to do well, but you've got to be well set up. And I think the two head coaches that we've had just sadly haven't been up to the job.
Between here and the end of the season, what needs to change in order to make sure that you guys remain in the Championship for next season?
Albion players need to show fight, passion and commitment. We've got, 12 games to save our season. If we win 3 or 4 of those, we give ourselves a fighting chance. It's about not being dragged down by the circumstances. We're not going to win all of our remaining fixtures. We're going to lose a few. They've just got to give everything they have got for that shirt. And if they do, I think they can still turn it around.
Well, always a pleasure to hear from fans, but can't quite say that was a positive chat at all. A lot of dejection. What needs to happen now for West Brom to salvage this season?
For them to salvage their season, beyond the obvious, they need to keep clean sheets, they need to win games, and they need to get the fans back on side, and they need the players to be back on side. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. Obviously, anyone that's played Sunday League football, you might be in a bit of loggerheads kind of period. All it takes is one of your teammates to be a bit motivated, and that could rub off on you. And that takes me into potentially playing youth. Now, West Brom look like they're searching for an identity. You saw the young lad who came off the bench. He's the one player that can leave that pitch with his head held high in their defeat against Oxford. In times like this, 2 goals down, fighting relegation, you need to make your own luck. And for a young man who hasn't been exposed to certain minutes, he's bought a raffle ticket and won the lottery. Yes, the shots has been deflected and it's not going to be his highlight of his career, but that is probably one of his most important goals to date. And it's given something for the West Bromwich Albion fans who did make the way to Oxford to get behind and cheer behind.
Now, of course, the first thing you mentioned that needs to happen is give the youth a chance. The second has to definitely be tightening up that defence. There's a stat here that really does paint the picture. Expected goals conceded that West Brom are on is 37. What they've actually ended up conceding in reality is 52 goals. So they're overperforming. They're actually conceding more than they should, considerably more. XG is a stat that really people are not really sure its purpose in the game. That surely highlights the problems in West Brom's season.
I mean, that stat is damning. There's a lot of stats that come out in today's day and age without a lot of context. That just tells you that they're overperforming in certain regards and underperforming in others. Defensively, they're poor. They've probably had too many managers now and have had several bad habits promoted, and they haven't been coached to unlearn bad habits and learn good habits. So you've got boys that are probably overloaded with information. There's no real clear ethos. thinking out the gaff with defensive fragilities and just playing poor. Now, when you add that together and make it like a mixed drink or a cocktail, you're in trouble. Defensively, if you can't defend, you can't get out the league. And that statistic should be showed to West Brom because they've conceded far more goals than they should have. Now, this is a relegation 6-pointer. Only one team, which was Oxford United, looked like they want to get out of this situation. Look what Charlie Taylor's done there. He's given the ball away, an unforced error. And this isn't actually where the goal's gone in, but this is a needless corner to give away when you are fighting relegation. And this highlights that experienced players are letting them down. The ball's obviously come into the box. The defending isn't good enough from that set piece. They're going to go down 14 minutes in away from home. And this is where games are won and lost. And now it's starting to become an uphill battle. As I said, this is a relegation 6-pointer. You cannot afford to give goals away like that, let alone in this game, on a consistent basis. Mistakes happen, and I'm sure many West Brom fans would write this off if it was a one-off. But game in, game out, up and down the country, going back to what you said about XG, they're too used to this familiar feeling. There's no pride in the defence. And if you're a championship side and you don't have pride in clean sheets or not conceding goals like this, you're not going to survive. Another one, a free kick was given away pointlessly. Marking was poor. And again, Oxford United have gone 2 goals up, and actually a former player in Will Lancashire has come back to haunt them. 2 dead balls, 2 goals in the back of the net, and you're now fighting an uphill struggle 26 minutes into a game away from home.
Late on in the game, this is a perfect example of how attitude can actually get you places, and lack of it will only get you in trouble.
As you said there's about 3 West Brom players making a meal of it. They're not marking players, and if you're honest, if you're an Oxford fan, it should have been 3 goals on the day. You can't expect to stay in the Championship if this is going to be what you're doing.
So injection of youth, sorting out the defence, the third and arguably the most crucial thing is start scoring some goals. The stats are pretty damning for West Brom up top of the pitch. So West Brom have the second worst conversion rate in the league, with just 5.2% of the shots resulting in goals. 12% of their chances are coming from inside the 6-yard box, which is the joint most in the league. And they've had more XG than Oxford and Charlton in their last 2 games, and they are missing some serious chances.
Football's decided in both ends. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but they actually conceded in the 14th minute. In the 13th minute, West Brom's captain, Jed Wallace, with some terrible decision-making. If he scored, it would have been goal of the season. I don't know if he thinks he's Roberto Carlos, but this is how you keep people in a division. You've got to score chances. I mean, what is he doing? Fair enough, there isn't that many options in the box, but why on God's green earth has he gone for goal? That's their captain, one of their most experienced players. And this is where all of the cliches for West Brom are coming to life. Football's a 90-minute game. You've got to finish your chances. You've got to kill teams before they kill you. They weren't the best on the night. Oxford deserved it, but they did have opportunities. And again, you mentioned the XG stats. If you can't perform in defence and you can't score your chances, you're in danger. Now, this isn't the worst of chances. They've actually worked it well, but ultimately, it's a tame effort into the goalkeeper's hand. Again, football's a simple game. You've got to score goals. You've got to keep them out the back of your net. They have a conversion issue. Fair enough, Christian Bielik is unlucky, but that's the difference. When Oxford United had an opportunity, they pull it in the back of the net. You've got to score. Is it down to ability? Is it because of confidence? Is it a lack of coaching? I don't know. We'd have to talk to a manager, but simply put, West Brom are in trouble if they cannot score more goals.
Well, with 11 games left to play this season, it's clear that West Brom have got it all to do if they want to avoid dropping into the 3rd division for the first time in over 30 years. Things need to improve on both ends of the pitch, but one thing's for sure, West Brom are no stranger to a great escape. We'll see you soon for more analysis on the Championship on the ITV Sports YouTube channel.